This is an Outriders final boss guide. I'm going to show you guys how to beat the final boss, Yagak. I'm going to give you different tips and strategies of what you should be doing in order to beat him. So let's skip to that story point. And for this video, I'm going to turn the world tier down so I can focus on the strategies and not so much on actually having to grind him out, because he takes forever to grind out if you have your world tier way up. So first, let me just go ahead and skip into the level. Okay, before I start showing you how to beat him, I do want to point out that if your world tier is too high and your gear is not up to par, he is basically impossible. First stage, you can probably get through almost no matter what if you do the correct strategy, but the second stage, you'll probably get overwhelmed if you don't do enough damage. Also, it helps a lot to have some kind of weapon life leech, so that way you can just face tank things and not just die like real fast. So you always want some kind of life leech in order to sustain during the fight. So in this first stage, he's going to spawn orbs, and also in the second stage, he's going to spawn orbs. You need to keep up with those orbs. If you do not kill the orbs, you'll eventually get overwhelmed with them, and they do a ridiculous amount of damage when they finally hit you. So I'm going to throw down a turret and start shooting. He wants to summon the orbs, anomaly rifts they're called. He summons them every minute or so. You're going to want to kill those right away. If you have life leech, then you don't have to worry too much about getting hit. If you get hit, just immediately turn towards him and shoot him a few times to get your health back. Also, any abilities he has, it'll show where they're going to hit. And as for this one, it's pretty easy to sidestep it. So I'm going to wait for more anomaly rifts. As for the anomaly rifts, you can just walk slowly sideways up them like this, and they can't hit you. They have very, very bad ballistics. So right there, he hit me. I just want to tap him a few times to get my health back, and then focus on that again. When that thing appears, you need a sprint. That thing that just blew up next to me, you need a sprint in order to try to get away from it. So more anomaly rifts. You just want to really quick take those out if you can. Again, if you see anything on the ground like that, then be sure to dodge it. If you get hit, I just got hit by something. I'm going to really quick get my HP back, and then focus on the anomaly rift again, which is insanely difficult to do on a controller, because controllers suck for this game. He summoned... Okay, so he summoned another one. My class, and he throws down. So you're just going to keep repeating this. The cycle is literally just about the rifts and then dodging that thing. As soon as it pops up, you got to react, and you got to just sprint away when that thing appears. Or if he runs at you and he tries to ground pound next to you, you got to react, you got to run away. So I think that's pretty much it for the first fight. That's literally all that happens. It's literally just keep up with the anomaly rifts. If you don't keep up with the anomaly rifts, you're going to get farmed. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the end of this fight, and then we're going to talk about what to do in the next fight. Okay, so I just beat stage 1. I'm going to skip the cutscene. So obviously this part's not the part that you're going to... You did not search for this part where you run to the next part. Pretty darn straightforward. Just don't die to the random warriors. Which I guess could happen. Definitely could happen. So I just let them farm me because I was so careless. Alright, so now this one is where it's going to get difficult as all hell if you don't have good enough gear for the world tier you're trying to beat it on. So for starters, the same strategy is going to apply. He wants to spawn these stupid anomaly rifts. You are going to want to keep up with these. As soon as they are spawned, you are going to want to take them out. You do not want to fall behind, because he will keep summoning them, and eventually you'll keep summoning. Eventually you'll be like it's the same amount. So any of his attacks, it'll show in a blue aura where it's going to hit, and you just got to be able to react and just dodge them. Pretty straightforward. When he does this, now you have to get ready, and you want to immediately take out the adds, as they're called, additional units. You only have a limited amount of time to take them out, and if you don't take them out fast enough, it just adds to the getting overwhelmed, just like these things do. And that's where the gear is really gonna matter, because if you don't have good enough gear, then you won't be able to kill the adds fast enough. And so then that will put you behind to where he's trying to attack you while you're fighting them, and then he's summoning things, and you just can't keep up, and it gets hard and hard. This one's pretty easy. You can just, well, I just messed it up, but you just run in a direction, basically, and it should just work out. You should just miss. So that one's not so bad. That's what I'm going to show you again before the end of this fight, though. So again, more ads, just take them out as quickly as you possibly can. Again, if your gun is not up to your world tier level, then these ads are going to slow you down really hard, and it's going to be really bad. So here's the anomaly rifts. You got to take those out, keep them down. And now I can focus on him. Okay, so this one I should be able to just sprint back and forth. He actually does ballistic, so you want to run, and when it stops moving, it'll, like, you'll see the thing on the ground like that one right there, but it was moving. As soon as it stops moving, then run the other way. So like this, and then, okay. You can kind of just figure out the timing. It's like you don't even have to watch it. You just know it's going to be like 2 seconds or whatever of a wind up, and then you just run the other way the last second. As for chain lightning, I think it's just like, you can probably roll dodge it. You might be able to just roll dodge like that on the chain lightning. I actually don't know. I would assume you can. I doubt it's undodgeable, but maybe it's undodgeable. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you need to know about Yagak. I mean, the main thing is, if you can't beat him, usually it's just that your gear is not good enough for the world tier. Like, you might want to go and farm titanium. I'll actually link in the description the titanium farming exploit if you need titanium. But you can go and get some titanium, and then use that titanium to level up your gear to the actual like maximum level for your world tier and character level. And doing things like that will help. It's just usually the issue with him is his stats are super high for the world tier. So even with your world tier, or even with your stats like completely maxed out, all your gear to the max level, you may still have to turn the world tier down a couple notches until later on, after you go on expeditions, you can get like super high level 50 gear, and then you can come back and farm him. But it's, I don't know, the main issue is just make sure your gear's high enough level for him. So that's pretty much everything there is to know about Yagak. It's a pretty straightforward boss fight. It's just 100%. It's about keeping down the additional units. If you don't, like when he summons the anomaly rifts, if you don't immediately take them out, you will quickly get overwhelmed and your life will suck really bad. And then the second stage, like the first stage, even if your gear's not good enough, the first stage is not so bad. I remember the first time I fought him, my gear was severely underleveled, and I tried to fight him anyway at my highest world tier at the time, which I think was 9 or 8. And it was really hard, but I was like, okay, I can get through this. And, you know, I died once or twice, and then I beat the first stage. But then if you die on the second stage, it resets you all the way to the start of the first stage. And I was like, oh, I'm good. I was like, no thanks. I will get better gear and then do this. Because the second stage, it was like, I did it once, and I got like a third of the way through it, but it was just like, without a strong enough weapon, especially more than anything, it's the weapon. Without a strong enough weapon, you will rapidly fall behind, because the ads are really the thing that'll kill you on the second stage if your weapon's not up to par. Because the ads, you have to actually look around and shoot them and stuff, and if they have too much health for your weapon, you'll have to shoot each one for like 2 seconds, and they'll try to dodge and stuff, which will just slow you down by little bits here and there as you're trying to shoot them down, and it'll all just add up to where you'll feel like you never have a moment to shoot the boss, especially if you're not playing Technomancer, because Technomancer can freeze the boss, which gives you a lot more time. But yeah, you'll end up in a situation where it's like, all right, I killed the anomaly rifts, I killed the ads, I shot the boss a couple times, oh, he summoned more anomaly rifts, I killed the anomaly rifts, okay, I shot the boss a few times, oh, he summoned more ads, okay, summoned more anomaly rifts, yeah. So it's really about just having a good enough weapon. And so, but as for the strategies, I like I said, just the ones I showed you, just keep up with the things, dodge abilities the way that I showed. It's a pretty straightforward fight, and life leech is a godsend so that you can just heal up the second you get hurt. If you have enough life leech, then all that matters is not getting 1-tapped or 2-tapped by something, and then the rest should be good. But if you do get overwhelmed and you let like 6 anomaly rift orbs pop up, you're done. You're totally done. You won't be able to dodge it all and heal up through it fast enough. It'll just shred you. So there you go. That is everything I could think to tell you about how to beat Yagak and Outriders. Hopefully this guide helps you out if you were struggling with him like I did the first time that I encountered him. If this video helped you, consider helping us by subscribing to our channel. Tap this button over here and hit the red subscribe button. Subscriptions help a lot, even if you never watch our videos again. Ha 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 ha!